Hey guys, Tom here again from synthhacker.com. Welcome back to another tutorial for Massive. In this video we're going to be looking at making the lead sound from a producer called Marshmello, who's on Skrillex's label Owsler, and we're going to be making the kind of like trappy lead that he used in his remix of a Z track. I can't actually remember what the Z track was called, but yeah, it's just this really, it's quite a simple lead, but it's just really nice sounding, and I've put it in an arrangement which is like kind of like a recreation of the track with a bass and with serum as well, which I'll probably do a tutorial on in the future as well, so let me know down below if you'd like to see that as well. But yeah, I'll just demonstrate the sound and then we'll initialize the patch and begin making it. So hopefully you could tell which sound was the Marshmello lead there. It was the just the obviously like square saw lead that you could hear throughout that little like thing that I made. And yeah, hopefully you like the sound. It's pretty simple, like I said, but this kind of lead is used in all sorts of different music, not just trap as well. You know, and like a lot of kind of like Monster Cats tracks that label puts out, you hear a lot of sounds like this from a lot of their artists. And yeah, it's just a really versatile, cool lead, some cool stuff going on that we'll go over. And yeah, let's go ahead and initialize the patch. Just go to File and New Sound. As always, guys, these videos are supported by my website, which you can go check out over at synthhacker.com. I'll click the link in the description down below to go check out my presets for Massive and other synths as well. Definitely go ahead and check that out if you get time. It really helps support me and the channel and future videos as well. And thanks in advance if you do decide to purchase any of those. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin making this Marshmello lead. That sounds really weird, Marshmello lead. But yeah, let's go ahead and start making it. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go into the voicing tab, and we want to make sure that the sound is monophonic because we are going to be using glide, and it's just like a single note at a time sound. And then what we're going to do is turn the unison to 4 and switch the pitch cutoff on so we can like slightly detune the sound. And then what we're going to do is go into the oscillator tab and make sure that the glide is set to equal. And then we're just going to bring this down a little bit. In the lead sound in the original track, it does have this like glide from note to note, which is really kind of what one of the main characteristics that stood out to me for the sound. So yeah, make sure you got a little bit of glide, not too much though. I'm just going to take the vibrato off as well. And then we can move into the oscillator section. So this sound actually just uses really basic wavetables. Well, first of all, in oscillator 1, just using a square wave, so we can just move the wavetable position all the way to the left. In oscillator 2, we're going to be using a saw wave, so we're just going to keep that where it is. And then finally, in oscillator 3, we're going to be using a square wave as well. Make sure that the modes for all these oscillators are just set to spectrum. And oscillator 1 and 2 are just set to the default pitch, but we are going to pitch oscillator 3 up 12 semitones. And we just want to keep all these oscillators just being routed through the filters. We don't really have to touch that. We can just keep those as is. I did, however, turn the amplitude down of oscillator 2 a little bit, and also the amplitude of oscillator 3 down to about like halfway or something like that. And then what I used was actually the modulation oscillator to apply some phase modulation to oscillator 2, just to kind of fill out the frequency range and add some lower frequencies here by using phase modulation with a lower pitch than oscillator 2 actually is. So I'll just show you the sound as it is now in the mix, and then I'll show it a couple more times throughout making it as well. So at the minute, that's just a very basic tone. It still needs a lot more shaping, but the kind of basics are there. Next, in the noise oscillator, we're going to be applying just a little bit of white noise, again, just to fill out the frequency range a little bit, and just route this through filter 1 as well. So we can actually move into the filter section now. We're just using one basic low pass to pole filter. I had the cutoff around here. You can really play around with it to see which you prefer. I actually quite liked it with not too much high end on it. I thought it sounded pretty cool. And make sure you turn the resonance down as well. And then what we're going to do, we're going to set up an envelope to modulate the cutoff position. And just move this up a little bit. The envelope itself, I softened up the attack a little bit because it did have quite a soft attack to the sound. Decay, going to keep that about halfway, but we're going to bring the sustain right down and give it a little bit of release as well. And then, yeah, so drag and drop that onto there like I've done already. Next, moving into the effects section, we're just going to be using a really simple reverb with a high size. But then what I actually did was set up the same envelope on the dry wet of the reverb, which is a really cool effect. I use this quite a lot on bass sounds, if you've seen my other tutorials. And it's just really cool because it just means that whenever the sound is playing, you'll hear reverb, but then as soon as the sound stops playing, it kind of like closes off, which is a really cool effect that I like. As for the amplitude envelope, I just use a similar envelope to envelope 3, really just bring the decay down a little bit. I mean the sustain down a little bit, keep the decay where it is, and give it a little bit of release as well. Next, in the other effects section, I just used a dimension expander, let's see where is it, with a small size and a pretty high dry wet. And then just for EQ to finish up the sound, you brought the low shelf down a little bit, and also reduced some of the lows by using these two controls here, which if you didn't know, this EQ parameter says boost, so you can actually boost frequencies around whichever frequency you choose. But what I like to use this sometimes just to polish sounds is if there's like some frequencies that I don't like or that I think kind of make the sound a bit muddy or too harsh or something like that, you can boost the EQ and then just sweep through the frequency range while the sound is playing to kind of find frequencies that you don't like in the sound, and which I found was about here for the sound down here. I'm not actually sure what specific frequency that is. And then you can actually reduce this boost amount, and that'll actually attenuate those frequencies, which is really super useful. So yeah, that's pretty much the finished sound. I'll just show you what the finished result sounds like. So you can hear that really cool reverb effect, and you can hear the effect that putting the envelope on the filter has as well. And yeah, that's it. A pretty simple sound, I know, but it's just really kind of versatile sound that's useful to know how to make. You could use this in a lot of different genres like trap and future bass and all that good stuff. And yeah, hopefully you like the sound. If you did, please leave a like on the video and comment down below if you have any other suggestions or questions or anything like that. Again, if you haven't done so already, definitely go ahead and check out my website over at synthhacker.com, or click the link in the description down below to go check out my presets for Massive and other synths as well. If you haven't done so already, also make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with new sounds that I'm bringing out all the time across a lot of different genres, and I'm going to be expanding into using other synths at some point as well. So definitely subscribe to stay up to date with new videos. Thanks a lot for all the support so far. I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next Serum tutorial, which I'll be going over the bass sound from this tutorial as well. And yeah, that's all from me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.